Hi everyone. Well, in this video I want to cover grading because people are going to submit assignments, complete discussion board activities, and you need to know how to grade. So I'm in one of my sample courses that I have sample students in, and I'm going to scroll down and go to the Grade Center because that's the best place to do grading, and then go to Full Grade Center. When you get in there, it's going to list your students, and in this case I have two students, Sassy Sally and then my test student. And if I look at the Grade Center, you can see here's an indication that they submitted something and it needs to be graded. You can see I already graded out this student. So what I can do is, you'll notice there's an arrow that appears, and if I click that drop down arrow, and I'm going to scroll, there's view grade details, and at the end is the attempt. So this said this attempt was on 225.15. If I click that attempt, it'll take me into it. So here I am, and I'm in my attempt. Now this happens to be an exercise where they needed to submit an assignment to me, and what's nice about this is it brings up what they submitted, and I can zoom. Do you see where I can zoom in and out? And I can also add comments. So I could type here, so I can do that. There are some other things, so I could do a point comment, an area comment, and a text comment. So there's a number of things you can do here. I could do strikeouts. So let's say I want to, let me scroll correctly. Let's say I think this needs to be striked out. I can just highlight it. It's not doing it. Strike out. There we go. And now it strikes it out, and I could put in my replacement text. Whatever it could be. So that's how you could put comments in something that was submitted. And then to the right, there's a section for grades, and there's a section for the attempt. Now if I click this drop down area, there's a feedback for the learner. So I could put shows So anyhow, whatever my feedback could be, I could put it there, and then I can put my grade right here. So if this was 20 points or 18. Now one thing I'm going to mention that we aren't going to cover in this course is you can actually do a rubric. And I'll just show you the rubric. So I can click here, and it's going to bring up a rubric, and I can click through and give points that way, and there's a place for feedback. So that might be something you want to explore, is setting up rubrics for assignments, because it does save a lot of time and energy for grading. But so once I'm done, I'm going to click submit, and it will submit it, and it will leave me in that document, and it will go to the next student. Now if I click exit, it will take me back to the Grade Center. And you can see now that's filled in. Now I'm going to go to the right. So there, that assignment's missing. So is that one. Oh, but here's our discussion board. So I can click the drop down arrow, click Grade User Activity. And what's nice about this is it's going to show me all of their postings. So if there's 4 postings, 5, you'll see all of them. And then on the right, it's the same thing. Again, there's a spot for feedback for for the learner. If you have a rubric set up, you could click that, and then a spot for your grade. Now with discussion boards, in many cases, I have to see if they responded to anybody who responded to their postings. So here's her original post. So what I'll usually do is click on it. There's a link right here, and that will take me back to the discussion, and I can see that, oh, nobody responded to her. So she didn't have to respond to anything. But that's one thing that can get you, you need to dig a little farther is with those discussion boards. And there we go. So I'm back, and I can give her her grade. And again, if I have a rubric, I could use that. So I'm going to give her her grade, and I'll submit it. Now, while you're in a discussion board and you're doing these, let's say you need to grade somebody else, you'll see that here's Sassy Sally. There's an arrow beneath her name. I could click that. I'm going to show all, it'll show me the other students. In this case, the other student didn't post anything yet, but normally I'd list all of those students, and you can just click on each of their names, grade them, go through, and finished. And then when you're done, you can scroll down to the bottom. If you click OK, it'll take you back to the grade center. So those are some situations. Now let's look a little farther, because I have one more thing to show you. And this actually is grading a journal, I believe. And the blogs work the same way. So it gives me my instructions that I've given the students. And if I scroll down, I can see her journal entry. With a wiki, it might list a link to that wiki, and you can click on it. And then again, on the right, you have a spot for putting in the grade. If you're using a rubric, you can click right on it, and then feedback for the learner. Once you're done, to give them points. She didn't do very good on this one. Your journal is not long enough. Did not answer all of the questions. Great. So I'm going to submit that. And again, it'll list all of the students, so I could go look at that other student and grade theirs. So you can go into one and then go through the whole list. And then I'll click OK. And we'll go back to the grade center. So that's really how grading works, very similar for each thing. I do want to point out that while you're in a discussion board and some of the other things, and let me get there. If I go into a discussion board, do you see the button, Grade Discussion Forum? If I do that, it's going to show me my students and the number of points they have and then the grade they've gotten. And this is a test course, so that's why we're seeing some weird data. Anyhow, that's how grading works from an instructor side. I am just going to show you quick. I have a grades button for the students, and that's where they'd go and they could see that feedback and what they got on an assignment. Anyhow, I hope that helps. Thanks.